Nobody in here yet.
What's up, folks?
Nobody in here yet.
Okay. Hey, folks.
Zero folks.
Hey, folks.
Let's just hang out behind a redwood tree. Is this even going live? Anybody here? Oh, Bigfoot Society. What is up, Jeremiah?
It's Jeremy. Hey, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Here they are, the Redwoods. Want to sit on this log?
Yeah.
It's a little bright. Found a redwood log. Hey, folks, anybody in here? I need a selfie stick or something. Is that weird to say? I guess. How do I show the chat? Jeremiah says, "Look out for Ewoks." Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw a couple of Ewok houses a little while ago.
Couple Schneewalks.
So what's up, guys? Here we are in the Redwoods. Beautiful. This actually is Jedediah Smith Redwoods State Park. There's a bunch of different parks. We had, this is the only one it seems we have service in. Kind of a touristy spot, but here's Eli sitting on a, not that big of a redwood that fell, actually. There's a lot crazier ones. Oh.
It's pretty long.
Haven't done any posts in a while. Aaron Johnson says, "You're in my backyard." Sweet.
Hi, Aaron Johnson.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a beautiful area. I love this spot. So, isn't there a tree called the General there? Isn't that sequoia?
I think that's the Sequoia.
I'm not sure if there's a tree called General. There is a tree called General. I think it's in Sequoia National Park, though, which is like Central California. Way south, yeah. There's a lot of people on this trail. This is Stout Grove. Not there, right? Sandra Piper, hi everyone. Hi. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to flip the camera. There we go, guys. I'll walk on the trail a little bit, find another little grove. All right, so we're just gonna do some walking. Haven't found any Ewoks or anything yet. But I mean, these trees, this is amazing. Look at this. This is actually called Stout Grove. So this is a pretty cool area. Let's go off into here. Oh, this looks cool. I mean, it's just it's kind of crazy to imagine how tall they are. Kevin Hamilton says, "That is a very impressive view. I'd love to see that place." Oh yeah, it's nothing like it in the world. Bigfoot Society, I do believe there's a Squatch in that grove. Probably. Hey, Eli, go stand next to this tree or something. Let's give people perspective. It's really hard to tell on camera, but here's like some perspective, right? There's Eli standing against one of them. And this one just goes up as far as you can tell, hundreds of feet. I mean, these aren't even some of the tallest ones. There's an area in here called the Grove of Titans that's closed. That one has some of the tallest in the world. Pretty cool environment. Yeah, let's post up somewhere and do a little discussion, huh? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's hide somewhere. Ewoks, I mean, Jurassic Park's been filmed here, Star Wars. A lot of stuff's been filmed here. You ready, Eli? This is actually called Stout Grove. That's the name of this area. You ready?
What?
Let's go have a little discussion.
Oh, yeah. I'm following you, dude.
I don't know, I figured like over here somewhere. Post up next to a big tree. It's ferns, I mean, this is like something straight out of Age of the Dinosaurs. Gotta figure out a spot to hang out in. Oh, how about right in here? Just sit on this guy. Wish there was somewhere better to put the camera. Kevin Hamilton says, what were those trees in LOR called? Ents? Trees look like those things, yeah. Lord of the Rings Ents. If these trees could talk, I wonder the stories they could tell, huh? Yeah, so as the description, actually title of this video, it indicates, we are in the Redwoods right now after having spent a week in Bluff Creek. So that is the historical Bluff Creek area, Northern California, of course, where the term Bigfoot originated, as well as the Patterson-Gimlin film was shot in 1967, and we pretty much saw it all. We were filming in there, of course, for a new Beyond the Trail episode. So for folks curious, Thursday, the other day, an episode of Beyond the Trail of came out. That's the main one. We did a live discussion about it last month. That episode's out, so that's, if you want to check that out, it's pretty cool. But if anyone has any questions or anything about Bluff Creek, I think we'll just talk a little bit about it. So basically we were there in, it's like the Six Rivers National Forest, Trinity National Forest, something like that. It's a whole,
kind of blends.
it's a whole big area. It's just millions of acres of uncharted wilderness, basically. And you know, we were staying down there at the famous louse camp, which was discovered by Tom Slick. I believe Tom Slick and the people who were there are doing an expedition there in the late 1950s. And we were camped literally right down the road from where the original Bigfoot prints that coined the term Bigfoot were found by Jerry Crew when he was on that logging crew.
Yep.
And we saw Notice Creek, where supposedly these huge 55-gallon oil drums, I think they were 55.
Yeah.
These oil drums were thrown into the creek like nothing. Spool of cable. There's debated if it was the cables or not, but we saw right where that happened. You know, that we walked that roadway. It's still just a dirt road to this day. There's nothing, not developed or anything. But there's Louse Camp. There's been a lot of sightings in Louse Camp and sightings over the years. Stuff happening. Bobo's had a sighting there. I don't know if Cliff's had anything happen, but other people have had stuff happen at Louse Camp. We had this strange rock slide incident happen. Talk about that more another time, perhaps. But we actually spent a night also down at the Patterson-Gimlin film site. We slept and set up our camp right where Patty would have walked. So pretty cool. It was like really cool to be in that area. We were there with the Bluff Creek Project podcast. I always keep saying that. So we were there with Tate Hieronymus, who's been on the show before a couple of times. He's part of the Bluff Creek Project. We met a lot of the members: Rowdy, Kelly, Robert Leiterman, Jamie Wayne, Kip Morrill, obviously Tate. So they really know the area. They've rediscovered the film site. They manage it. They keep it kind of up to date. It was amazing being in there with those guys. I mean, they know that area so well. So it was just amazing to see that area. And you know, the footage happened so long ago. But, the Bluff Creek Project, they have trail cameras down there at the film site. But the footage happened so long ago, it doesn't matter. It's still cool to kind of walk in the footsteps of Roger and Bob. And you can go exactly where Roger would have been when he shot that footage. You know, whether you believe it or not, it's still one of the most significant pieces of film in history. I mean, even if it's fake, even if it's real, either way, it's just so influential. I mean, look at every Bigfoot design out there.
Yep.
So it was really neat being in that area and just seeing the remoteness and driving around. We went to Onion Mountain. There's been tracks pulled from there. We went to Laird Meadow. That's where Roger Patterson cast prints. Others over the years casted prints. What am I missing? I don't know. Eli's sleepy.
I am a little bit. I'm in go mode. If I stop, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, we've been on the move, camping, sleeping for... It's been over a week now since last Saturday. That's when we embarked on the trip. Obviously, Carrick did an awesome Joe in the show on Monday. Still haven't even had a chance to watch it, but not sure what's going on for this Monday. If he's doing another one or not, we'll see. Probably won't be able to do one. Or maybe we can if we're with Mark. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Either way, doesn't matter. Let me see some of the comments and see what you guys are saying. Did you guys ride horses to the Patterson film site, or do you guys... well, we weren't actually... You can't ride horses to film site anymore because the National Forest doesn't allow horses near water sources. So even when Finding Bigfoot filmed their episode down there, they couldn't take their horses down there. They had to, you know, walk in. They could ride their horses to a certain point and then had to walk in the rest of the way. Sandra Piper says, you guys did have a wonderful trip. Yeah. Ken Tex, Alex says, Alex, what do you think about the recent Bob Gimlin news? This stupid drama, rumors. I mean, a lot of unreliable characters involved in the telling of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know Steve Cole's involved. I think he's pretty stand up. So I don't know. I just think with a lot of these Bigfoot drama mills, it's just unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, the footage is there. You know, we were there at the site. We didn't have any internet. We didn't really care what was going on about rumors online. It's different when you're out in the field.
Yeah.
You don't really care about that. And the Bluff Creek Project guys, I mean, they're unfazed. Their whole goal is to keep that site preserved for people to be able to go there and to possibly maybe someday figure out, you know, the dimensions. But aside from that, I mean, I don't know. It's just internet drama. I could care less, honestly. Let's see what else was said. Where did the chat go now? Live chat.
There it is.
Okay. Kevin Hamilton says, are you guys checking out Willow Creek while you're in the neighborhood? It's a bit further north, but they have a Bigfoot museum there, I think. Yeah, so actually, Willow Creek is actually south. So people think that Willow Creek's pretty close to Bluff Creek. It's not. It's like a 2-hour drive. So it's south of there. It's the closest, not large town, it's a small town. There's Orleans, which is like a one-horse town, basically, which is really not that far from the road to start going to Bluff Creek. You first go down this road. There's this road called the Go Road, which is a section that was supposed to link up that part of the mountains to the coast. But because of some local tribes and their sacred areas, the highway was never completed. So you're driving in the middle of nowhere and there's just this paved road and you're like, what the heck? Kind of surprised me. Why would they do that? Then it just stops. So you drive, I mean, it takes probably over an hour just getting off of the main road, and you're already in the middle of nowhere in the mountains and the roads, and you get onto the Go Road, and then there's a lot of dirt roads, and there's some pretty rough roads getting down in there.
Oh yeah.
Rock slides could take those places out in an instant. So
Yeah, we pushed my little Corolla to the max.
yeah, we were riding in his Corolla down there, but when we were in camp and going to all these different locations, Onion Mountain, Laird Meadow, we were riding around with Tate in his truck.
Yeah.
A little more capable, but what an area. It really surprised me how rugged it was, even to this day, 70 years later. 70 years ago, that was untouched wilderness. That's when they first started punching those logging roads in, virgin timber. That's when the Jerry Crew stuff happened. That's when the original Bigfoot story kind of broke news. At the time it was Sasquatch, the Abominable Snowman, and then Bigfoot, the name kind of hit the headlines. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, Kevin Hampton's, it's actually south of where you're at. Yeah, so yeah, we actually went to Willow. You kind of go to Willow Creek. If you're coming up from south, you kind of have to go through Willow Creek. Only if you're coming from north, let's say you're coming from Oregon into Bluff Creek, then you wouldn't really go to Willow Creek. It would kind of be out of the way for you. But yeah, we went to Willow Creek. We went to that Bigfoot museum, actually. We got to see their behind-the-scenes archive of tracks. And actually, first video I ever put on this channel was about my first trip up to that area. Never made it to the film site when I was up there last time, 2016, but got to see the area, went to the museum, but also this trip we got to go see the museum and they showed us the whole track collection with originals. And there was even an original Patty cast that had debris from the film site in the cast, which was just amazing. I mean, that was so cool to see.
Yeah.
You're seeing something, almost 60 years later, totally wild. So, yeah, we got to check that out. That was really neat. For folks just tuning in, we're in the Redwoods, just showing, do a little panorama here. We're talking about Bluff Creek and our recent trip there. We're actually hanging out by a pretty big one here. Pretty big redwood right behind us. There's a bit of glare. Still kind of cool. All right, well, what do you say we just keep walking? Walk around a little bit. Got the handy cam? Okay. Yeah, here, I'll shut up for a little bit and just show scenery. Oh. Ken Tex says, what is the best evidence you have so far? We had some weird stuff happen. We had some knocks going on when we were doing some squatching out there. It'll all be in the documentary. I mean, nothing's super definitive, otherwise probably be having a whole different conversation about this all, but
Yeah, right.
But yeah, today's kind of a touristy day. We're in a pretty touristy part of the Redwoods. Look at this one. Wow, this one's crazy. That's like a, yeah, they got a platform around this one for a reason. Let's check that out.
Yeah, I feel like that one.
So yeah, look at this, guys. We'll stand up next to it. Let's check that out.
We also couldn't get that close to it, right?
This one's probably the biggest one we've seen so far. Is that the biggest one we've seen so far? I mean, you can't even see the top. You can imagine trying to scale this thing. I think the tallest one in the world, redwood tree, is actually taller than the Statue of Liberty. So you got redwood trees, sequoia trees, which are not as tall as redwoods, but are a lot wider. They're in the same family. Also in the same family, directly related to them, are cypress trees. So bald cypress trees you find down south, like in Louisiana, Arkansas, pretty much throughout the whole South. Excuse me. In like those swampy areas, that's where you really get those. So check this out. I mean, look at this guy on here. Crazy. Just dwarfed. So if there was a Bigfoot, would look like a baby compared to some of this stuff. See how you'd easily hide. Kevin Hamilton says that's what a huge tree. That's nuts. It really is. Like once you're right next to it, it's crazy. You might find some Avatar people living in that one. Avatars, Ewoks, Chewbacca, all kinds of stuff. Pretty neat. So yeah, folks, this is pretty cool. I mean, there's really no place in the world like the Redwoods, huh? It's just unique. And what's really sad about the Redwoods is that this is only 3% of what's left in the entire world with Redwoods. So, I mean, they lived all up in this Northern California coastal region. 97% of them were logged. So there's only 3% left. They protected them in like the last minute. That's when they made national and state parks. This is all we have left. It's still a lot, but it's nothing compared to what it used to be. That's what they were saying, that the pictures used to be just, and as far as your eye can see, just redwoods. Now it's just little groves and patches. Better than nothing. So I'm gonna keep walking down this way. Yeah, it's a lot of folks in the park today. It's a very touristy area. It's a little weird, you know, haven't been past week, just been really deep in the woods. But, you know, the only people really out there were people into Bigfoot, because Tate, Eli, and I were the only ones in Bluff Creek in that area for like the first 3 days, till other people showed up. Here's a stump. Look at this. I mean, gives you some pretty crazy perspective. Wow. I read something about redwoods not having very deep root systems. I don't know if I'm wrong, but I mean, that's just huge. This is a really beautiful grove, and now this goes out to the river. Sandra says, I love all the films and the redwoods. Yeah, it's really cool. Well, there's that story, you know, that, I forget the guy, was it Peter Mayhew?
Yeah.
Guy who played Chewbacca. When they were filming out here in the 70s and 80s, he was told not to walk around in the woods out here so people wouldn't shoot him thinking he was Bigfoot. Eli's doing some parkour. Do it again.
Yeah.
Do it. Whoa, parkour. Then he just crashes into a redwood tree and knocks it over, and we get fined and thrown into jail for destroying national treasure. Lockheed says, hopefully we can get the entire range replanted and protected for the future. Sure hope so. I mean, you know, I have to check back in 1,000 years, see how the trees are doing. There's a lot of these areas where there's second growth and third growth forests, as they call them. The second growth ones are ones that were planted like 100-something years ago. So they get not that tall, and they're a little bit thinner, but they're still pretty cool to see. Aaron Johnson, did you guys walk across the footbridge from Jed Smith into Step Grove or drive up that way? footbridge from Stout Grove. We drove to a parking and then just have been walking around Stout Grove. I don't really know the layout here super well. We're down by the river now. I can hear the river, so I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but yeah, I mean, we did cross some kind of little bridges. Here's some more down Redwoods. Let's see here. Illumina Nathan says, "Why did you block him? I'm a big fan and longtime subscriber." I don't have no idea what you're talking about. I don't think a Bigfoot would be around. Too many people. Yeah, I mean, probably. This is just a touristy area. There are reports in the Redwoods, you know. There's not areas where some areas have trails, some don't. So it's not every area has trailed areas. That famous video came from here. Was it the 90s or something?
Yeah, I think it was 94.
The Redwoods video, you know, where
Redwoods.
supposedly they were doing a photo shoot out here and they had some kind of creature coming around their camp at night and they got video of it. How's it going?
Hi.
But yeah, we're right down by the river now.
Hey.
Howdy.
How's it going?
Good for you guys.
Good.
My bad.
Let's check it out. So look how quickly this environment will change. We were just surrounded by those giant trees and now smooth rock beach. That is so cool. I love it. Time for sunglasses mode. See how cold the water is. It's pretty warm compared to Notice Creek that we were swimming in Adam Bluff Creek. That was cold water, but you know, it's a lot hotter there. Here, it's about 100 degrees in 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Bluff Creek area. It's a little bit further in the mountains. An hour away, as soon as you get to the coast, it was like 55 degrees, and we had to put sweaters on. Pretty amazing the difference, you know, that coastal rainforest weather. Beautiful clear water though. People are paddleboarding on tubes. Imagine that. Come to the Redwoods and you get to go to the beach. Just hang out by the river. Pretty cool. Let's see what else people are saying in the chat. Nathan says, "Love your last documentary with STM." Thank you. Yeah. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, Beyond the Trail now has 2 episodes, the Grant State Bigfoot case and Sasquatch in the Pine Tree State. What we're filming now will be yet another episode, and then we'll have another one after that. We've got a summer full of production, so there's a lot coming on that front, folks. Oh, this water's ridiculous. Makes me want to go swimming. You could pass within 5 feet of dozens of Sasquatch on that walk and never know it. Pretty true, Lockbeard, probably. So look at this. Wow. I wish I brought my swimsuit. I'd be jumping right in here. And then you got all these redwoods just right up in the back. Wow, this is cool. I don't even think you guys can appreciate the perspective here. I got to get back to show you this. Check that water out, huh? When you throw the phone in, take a swim. This is actually Eli's phone. Mine didn't have service to do the stream, so I won't do that. So check it out. You got the water here, and then you just look up. I mean, look how tall these trees are. Crazy. Kevin Hamilton says everyone's got a swimsuit on underneath their clothes if they're brave enough. That's true. I might go in my underwear. Who knows? It's not like super hot out here. It's maybe in the 60s right now. High 60s, low 70s. But man, it's just crazy because we were just in the Redwoods and now we're at a nice little beach. Redwoods all around. Pretty cool, folks, huh? Then I can walk right up into these woods and be right back in the Redwoods. It's a special area. I mean, it's tough to find places where you have so many different environments and biomes all in the same place as here. So it's truly pretty cool. Water looks really nice and fresh too, coming down from the mountains. I was saying, what if I just threw the phone in, let the audience take a dip?
Yeah,
What would you feel about that?
I would be kind of upset.
You take a dip then.
I would take a dip right after it.
It's nice though. It's not as warm as in Laos where you could just jump in that freezing creek, huh?
Dude, Lighterman was saying it feels better this way
Really?
when the temperature's
When it's
going
cooler?
drastic. Well, when the temperature difference isn't as much.
Huh. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if it's similar to the water, because what is it? It's probably like low 70s, high 60s right now.
It's probably low 60s.
Well, we're in the direct sun, and you guys got to know if you're from out east or down south. Out here, it's just dry heat, so it can be scorching hot in the sun. The moment you get in the shade, it's already a lot nicer, like 10, 15 degrees cooler. It's just a feature out here in the west. I mean, much of the west coast, but also like in the Rocky Mountains and those kinds of areas. So pretty sweet. I'm gonna go back into the trees here. All right, here we go, right back in the Redwoods. Without a pause. I don't know, maybe I'm just nerding out a little too much about how cool of a difference it is to see that. So here you go, here's a little sign. This trail is closed for maintenance. Some beautiful big redwoods right here. So I guess this trail's closed here, so we're gonna have to go back. But just wanted to show here. Actually, take a seat right by this redwood. That's a pretty cool perspective, huh? See if I can prop up my phone like this. Looking up at the redwoods. Pretty neat, huh? Raptor Crazy says Verizon works everywhere. This actually isn't Verizon, is it?
T-Mobile.
This is T-Mobile. Lockbeard says here in Oklahoma, humidity 85 degrees, feels worse than 100 does. That's no fun.
Yeah, humidity sucks.
Yeah, it's really nice to not have to deal with humidity. But we don't get it. Up in the Northeast is bad. Because down south, I can't stand that when it's like summer down south. Man, what a chill spot. It's just so nice and cool in here now.
Wow, what a great shot.
Thanks, Sandra. So yeah, guys, just start wrapping it up here soon. If anyone else has any questions or anything about Bluff Creek or any of the stuff we're working on, feel free to type away. Otherwise, we'll just show you a little bit more of the redwoods here. But yeah, really cool. I mean, it's just been a whirlwind, just one thing after another. So many different experiences, so many cool people. Met a lot of people that you know from online, Tate Hieronymus and all these folks. Red Room Creative Media. Hey, Alex and Eli. What's up? That's Joe Turry. How's it going, man?
What's up? What's going on?
I think he asked a question of me on Facebook. I forgot to answer it. You got to know we didn't have service for about 6 days.
Yeah.
We were out here, so it was pretty sporadic. But Joe, he asked what drones we're using. So we're using Mavics, DJI Mavics. I've got Mavic Pro. Eli's got a Mavic Pro.
Air 2. I got the Mavic Air 2.
Air 2, okay. Yeah, so just a bunch of different Mavics, primarily DJI Mavics. DJI. I always mix that up.
It's always hard, right?
he says, I have the Air too.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty crispy, yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta upgrade. I have one that I've had for a few years now. Still works really good, but I might end up having to upgrade. Maybe I'll get something else, get an Air or something else. Let's see. Opening the live chat on the phone is never an easy function. Upgrade says the one tree adds over an acre of terrain for animals that can climb. That's wow. I didn't even think of that.
Huh.
It's pretty interesting. So it's like it's an acre of vertical space. That is actually really interesting. So you can imagine. So I mean, this area would be hundreds of thousands of acres then just vertically. Right? That's crazy. Kevin Hamilton says not having cell service or internet is bliss.
Yes, it is.
Totally agree. It's funny because, you know, we're having a movie coming out, obviously, on the Small Town Monsters channel while we were out here. So we had no idea what was going on. I mean, not that I really cared. You're out just camping and doing research for 5-6 days in a row. You're just focused on when's the next meal, how to conserve your energy, cool down, do some research, charge your batteries. That was pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
So once we started getting back into civilization, the texts and everything starts raining in, and it's like, oh man, I didn't really miss this.
Yeah.
But I did want to do a stream because I don't know if we'll do a show tomorrow night, possibly. Not really sure yet. Raptor says, how long are some of the trails? 2 to 3 miles? There's a lot. I mean, this is a super easy one. This is the one that like every tourist and families can come do. There's more intense ones. We were not really looking to do that now. We're just kind of looking to get some easy redwood access.
Yeah.
So no shame in doing the super touristy stuff after 5-6 days of hardcore as we just did. So
Yeah.
but there are some trails that let you backpack around the redwoods and stay in more primitive areas that not everybody can get to because it obviously needs a certain type of skill set to get into those spots. So still, it's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, well, start wrapping up here soon, folks. I'm just going to do another extra shot here of the redwoods. For anybody new that's just tuning in, we were just talking Bluff Creek and our expedition. Aaron Johnson says it's beautiful, wouldn't live anywhere else. Well, I envy you in some ways. I mean, it's certainly an amazing area. I can imagine if I lived around here, I'd be out here in the woods all the time. I think the woods everywhere are nice and beautiful, but there's certain places that are special. This is definitely, it's unique. I mean, there's no redwoods elsewhere in the world. It's really only in this coastal region of Northern California, and even Oregon only gets a few of them, but nothing as impressive as the old growths here. So there you have it, folks. Eli, final summation.
Man, you guys might want to tune in. If we do a show tomorrow, skip it and join the show after, because then it's going to be spicy.
Why?
Because we're going to Oregon.
Oh, okay. Well, so we're going to Oregon after this.
Don't skip it. In fact, everyone should super chat. Give Alex all your money.
Thanks, Eli. Yeah, so we're going to Oregon after this now. We'll be doing some more Bigfooting, so we'll probably do another live video at some point. So Johnny Half says, thanks, Alex and company from the sidelines in DNR land, Northeast Illinois. Cool. Trail Cam Leo says, hello there. I do have to compliment you on your hats. Oh, nice.
Leo. It's been a while, my friend.
Yeah, man. It's all about the Stetsons. People think it's like the Explorer hats. They're like, oh, why does everyone in cryptozoology have the Explorer hats? I got this one in Monument Valley in Arizona, so it's got like special meaning to me, and I wear it because I think I was born to be a cowboy in an alternative life. So
Alternative life.
I think we just look cool,
I think so too.
When you're out in the West, you just gotta rock a good old Stetson. Nothing like the Stetsons. They make the best hats, that's for sure. Tried and trusted. Aaron says, enjoy your visit. Thank you so much. It's an awesome place you guys have here. Well, that's about it, folks. Just wanted to do a quick stream so you could see a little bit of the landscape here, just the variety between the river and just these impressive redwoods. I mean, when the sun hits them right, too, it's just ridiculous out here. Bigfoot country for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And inland. So we'll be hitting up all the cool spots, and we'll definitely post more, at least one more live update probably towards the end of the trip, talking about Mount Hood and some of those kinds of areas. So just a quick update. Stay tuned, folks. Hope everyone has a great great rest of your Sunday. Today's Sunday, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
always hard to know when
It's
you're out
hard,
when you're like doing a service and you're not really worried about that. You're just kind of trying to make things work, so you don't really know what day of the week it is. Guy 15 says, that is awesome. Hope you guys get some action. Definitely. Heaven Bound says, very beautiful woods. Thank you. Oh, I don't mind thanking you. It's not my woods. It's just they're great woods for sure. Sandra Piper says, thank you and safe travels. Thank you, Sandra. One more shot. Redwoods, guys. There you go. Unreal, huh? And then the pan up. Look at that. Crazy. All right, guys. Everybody stay safe. Talk to you later. All right. How do I end this?